So this is a question for you. I mean, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, that's fine. But I was doing a video the other day and I found myself saying something out loud, like, oh, maybe I need to make a short video, just separate that part of the statement out. All right, so I see it as there's basically three basic groups of people who buy cars. Okay. The first group are the people who buy ICE cars, internal combustion, new cars, right? So it's two groups within that, right? The first part of that group is people like, I've been used to doing this all my life and I don't want to change. And I get it. I mean, okay. And the second part is the people who, oh, I like the high rev or whatever and loud exhaust of a ICE vehicle. Whether it's a diesel pickup or a sporty car, it's just that they're in that group. Okay. There's a second group here who can also afford new cars, who buy EVs. And the people in that group tend to be like, well, I'm helping to save the planet or something like that. And I get it. I mean, there's people on both sides arguing, which way is it, whatever. At least that's part of what they're thinking. Now, the other possible answer here is, oh, and I don't have to pay for gas and all that maintenance. Okay, which is true. Hey, I don't have to change my oil. My Model 3 has well over 10,000 miles on it since I bought it. Is it over 10? Yes, it was like 39,000. It's over 50 now. And that's, oh my goodness. What is it? February, March, April, May? I still have four more months left. So in 8 months, I've driven over 10,000 miles with that car. And that's not the car I take for long trips. So anyway, peace and harmony, that's fine. So there's also a third group, and that third group is the group of people who are just trying to buy basic, cheap transportation, right? They're the people who are buying cars under 20,000, and 20,000 to them sounds high. Okay. The average selling price, at least I heard it somewhere, is $47,000 for a new car. All right, so we're no longer talking about, oh, but gas cars are cheaper. Yes, you can buy cheap ICE cars, but they're going to be hard to find. Okay? On the other side of that, you have a chance at finding a Chevy Bolt. Definitely, you can find a Chevy Bolt somewhere around 30,000. But if you buy the most basic Bolt, the EV with 1LT trim, that is, what was that, 25,000? I forgot exactly. I think it's 25, and then you take the income tax credit of 7,500, and we can argue about that part of it. And they're playing fast and loose with those rules, so who knows? Okay, whatever. So, and this is the reason why it's not a short. I was going to make a short, but it's too long, right? So, the people buying EVs, good on you, okay? The people buying ICE, I would challenge what your assumptions are. I get, oh, I'm used to doing it this way. Fine. I will say one thing to all you guys buying buying the ICE cars. How long are you going to keep that car? Okay? Yes, I tend to be a long-term owner of a car. So I tend to hold on my cars at least 5 years. Actually, my Volkswagen Jetta sport wagon with the TDI, I had that for 10 years. And with my Teslas, I fully expect to be able to own those for 10 years, although, there's going to be interesting new cars coming out. Like Tesla's going to come out eventually with a next generation car, as they call it, that hopefully is a cheap car. Although, if somebody, yes, I know I can go buy an F-150 Lightning, I could go buy a Cybertruck, I could go buy a Rivian R1T. Those are all interesting, but they're, from my viewpoint, kind of big. I'd like a pickup, but I want it to be small. You know, I think S10, although S10 is still kind of big. Okay, whatever. That's my choices. Okay. Now, they're going away from that part of it. There are also people who think they're making some kind of political statement with their vehicle, and I get it. Okay, the people who drive the super old Ford F-150s that are like rusted out, but they have a flag on it. Yes, they're making a political statement. Okay, the guys who had the flag in the back in a diesel pickup and they're blowing out big clouds of black smoke, they're making a political statement. Okay, some people think because I drive an EV, I'm making a political statement. All right, what I would like to say, at least on my part, yes, I've gotten some grief over the fact that the guy who's the CEO of the company that made my cars, both cars, is kind of out there. And I agree, he is. But I didn't buy my cars from him. I bought my cars from Tesla. Okay? And I would like to think that most people, that's what they're doing. They're buying the car because they think it's the best fit for what they want, not because they're trying to make some kind of statement in some way. Okay, whatever. Peace and harmony. What I'd really like to ask you now, yes, I've said I'm kind of asking y'all questions, but you don't owe me answers. I don't want to make you make a stand in either way. It's more about you thinking about what it is you're doing. Prepare for the future. Okay? All right. I'm not, by driving an EV, I'm not saying that you're making the wrong choice. I mean, obviously, for me, I couldn't make the choice you made, or it's likely I couldn't. But I've purposely chosen the cars that make sense for me. Okay? It's that simple, that easy. Okay, so going back. So for you guys who are looking for low-priced cars, there are low-priced EVs available. It just takes some searching. I would say this, if you can afford to spend $25,000 on a used car, and I know that is a lot for a used car, you can, from Tesla, you could buy a used car for $25,000. Now, why would you do that? It will last for a long, long time. And it uses supercharger charging network. So if you're traveling somewhere, you can get charged. However, I will throw in this other caveat. If you don't have a garage or someplace you can put in an electric charger at home, this may not be the time for you to get an electric car. I'll give you that right now. Electric cars make much more sense if you can charge at home. Okay. Whatever. Peace and harmony. And yes, I have just told you the two vehicles I'm looking for. I'm looking for that Tesla Next Gen, which some people call a compact car, because it's supposed to be $25,000. Now, at one point they said they weren't going to even sell it in the U.S. because Americans don't want cheap cars. I don't know why they say that. I get it. If you're an upper middle class person, you're willing to spend 50, 60, $70,000 for a new car. You're not looking for that compact car. But even people up at that category, if they have kids, they need a third car, fourth car, right? So it needs to be as cheap as possible. Okay, whatever. So there you go, compact car. And then if I could get a small electric pickup, that would be interesting. Wouldn't it be a hoot if Tesla came out with both of those items? Okay, anyway, peace and harmony. It's all good.